Hey, boys and girls.
Hi.
I'm here today with my son Noah and my daughter Nadia, and I am Noel Korf.
And I am drawing right now, so after the show, I will show it to you. So can I look at my picture?
Yes, you can look at the picture. All right. Noah was asking me today what is in a pen and how a pen works. And so we figured we'd do a little video demonstrating what is all inside of a pen. This will be a learning experience. Okay, this is a clear pen, and so this one you can already kind of see what's inside of it. There's a little ball at the end, tiny little ball, and when you push down, it lets a little ink come by, and this tube in the middle is full of ink, and it lets it squish out the bottom as you're writing, and the little ball rolls as you're writing it. That's why it's called a ballpoint pen, because it has a ball at the tip. As you push down, it lets the ink, and gravity just pushes the ink down as you're writing until you run out of ink. And you can see this one's run out of some of its ink. It had more ink in it, and it's getting low. So this is kind of a typical, these pens don't really come apart. I mean, you can force them apart, but this is the type of pen that will actually unscrew, so you can unscrew it. And this was really the type of pen that you were most interested in, Noah, is the ones that come apart. So as you can see, there's lots of pieces to this pen. And all of these pieces serve a purpose.
And also, Daddy has been taking apart guns and selling it to people unless they broke their gun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you want to see other videos, just go type in Noel Korf and you'll see tons of other videos. There's one with he's reading a book, and then all the others are shooting guns.
Yeah. I am planning to do a video in the near future about how to repair a gun that's broken. That's something I do. So this is, I don't know much about pens, but this is basically the tube that houses all the business stuff. And it's got a little end that's pressed in. Some of these unscrew, but this one doesn't.
Wait, can I look inside
Noah's
it?
got a little bit of a cold, that's why he's coughing. And this has the ink in it.
Is what in it is inside it right now.
Yeah, it's just a hollow tube. And this has the ink in it. Like you can see, I don't know where that one pen went. Oh, there it is.
This?
In this video, this pen, you can see the tube, and because it's clear, you can see that there's black ink inside of this one. This one, I believe, has blue ink inside of it, and there's a little spring that goes on, and there's a little place that's clamped, like squished into it, so it has little ears right here, and that keeps the spring from just sliding all the way up the tube. See? Whoop. You got that, Noah. I just flung across the room.
I got it.
All right.
It's kind of hot.
So if you didn't have that place in the middle to stop it, the spring would just slide all the way up and down the tube and wouldn't do anything. But because it has these little stopper places on it, the spring stops. Okay, so then when you slide this inside of the tube, all the way down, it has a little opening at the bottom. And if it pushes down, it'll come out the end. And we'll see that in a minute. This one's kind of clear too. You can see through it. So then we need these other parts. We need this part. This also has a pocket clip. You can clip it on your pocket, which is a nice feature. And then we have these other two parts here, which are typically kind of typical parts to be inside of a pen. We have the gray part and the white part. A lot of pens, these are just white. Both of them. They have these little places that lock together, and they can only turn one way. They can't turn this way. They can only turn this way. So it spins and they slip past each other. They slip past these little cogs. They can't turn the other way, only one direction, and that's important. So this will go over the tube. And see, now you have, when you push this, well, it pushes that out of the end. And the reason why these pins are handy, these pins have just a cap that slides over them. But you lose the cap a lot of times. And like this pin, it hasn't had the cap for a long time. The cap is lost. So you can accidentally draw on stuff that you don't mean to draw on, like my finger. But these, if you push the end when you're done, the end goes back up inside of the pin, right? So now we come to these little cogs on here that slip past each other. And this is how this really works here. So you slide this on, and this little thread on there, the screws on there. You can see there's some threads there. So now it's screwed together. Well, if I don't know how well you can see it. Noah, can you see it? When you push down, these slip over, and so they slip and they latch. And now it's stuck where it can't come out anymore, or can't be pushed in. It's really hard until you push it again, and then it goes all the way back in. And that's how those little cogs go. You can see how the gray part turns
I can
there?
see it.
Yeah. And it locks in, and then you have a retractable pin with a pocket clip. And there's lots of other kinds of pins. This pin is basically like this pin, except it has red ink in it. You can see a little bit of the red ink up here. See, we've used a little bit of the ink. It's gone down a little ways. There's still a lot of ink left in this pin. Eventually it'll be empty, and then it's not good for much. But these are another type of pin that really don't come apart. But you can knock the ends out of them and take them apart. But you have to be careful not to make a mess with all the ink. Okay, go ahead.